Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Shanae, and today we're going to bake cheesecake. Not just regular cheesecake though, we're going to make dulce de leche cheesecake sprinkled with sea salt. It's one of my popular cheesecake recipes on my website and has been for years, and it's about time to make a video dedicated to make cheesecake. And along the way, I'm going to share with you tips and tricks to create that flawlessly creamy cheesecake with no cracks. For the crust, you will need graham crackers, melted butter, and a little bit sugar. And for the filling, you will need cream cheese, eggs, a little bit salt, sour cream, sugar, dulce de leche, and vanilla extract. So before we start with the recipe, we need to prepare our baking pan. For cheesecake, you want to have a springform pan so that the sides get detached for easy removal. We are going to bake the cheesecake in a water bath, and to prevent soggy crust, we need to wrap our pan in a foil. And I have 2 strips of foil here, and I like to put them on a crisscross, like a plus sign here. Place your pan right in the middle of your foil. If you're using traditional size of a foil, it's not as wide enough, so that's why we're having 2 sheets. And so you want to have at least 1 inch of foil on either side. First, pull them up like so, and very gently wrap your pan like so. We don't want any water get into the crust, and that's why we ensure at least 1 inch of foil on the edges. And be very, very careful, because you don't want to tear your foil, and then that will be useless, right? So make sure to take great care on this stage and gently wrap them up high like so. Now the whole pan is nicely wrapped, and as you can see, you have at least 1 inch of foil. And then simply wrap it on the side like so. And this is how you prepare your cheesecake pan. It's ready to go, so set it aside, and we're going to start with making the crust. So to make the crust, we're going to use a food processor to crush all the graham crackers. And if you don't have a food processor, you can simply crush the graham cracker in a Ziploc bag with using a rolling pin. Okay, and then we'll process it until it's completely crushed and super fine crumbs created. So my graham cracker is completely crushed, and then we'll add our sugar. Pulse it really quick so it's combined. And now add melted butter and mix it until it's well combined. If need to, pulse it a little bit so it's all moistened. The crumbs are ready. You want your crust mixture resemble wet sand texture. When you take a little bit and then squeeze it in your hand, it should ball up. Okay, now we're going to transfer our crust into prepared springform pan. Dump it all in, and we're going to evenly distribute all throughout the bottom and up the wall of the springform pan. I just like to use my hands for this step so that I can feel the thickness of the wall. It's just so much easier this way. I started from the middle and then push the crumbs as evenly as possible toward the edges. The crust to be almost to the edge, like 1/2 inch under the top of the pan. Some people use back of a measuring cup, but I feel like it's really hard that way for me. It's just easier to do with my hands. And press them up against the edges nicely. Pack them up. Now, go ahead and place the crust in the fridge while you make the filling. So to make the filling, we're going to beat our cream cheese until nice and fluffy. Make sure that your cream cheese has come to the room temperature really well, because you want to have a really smooth and creamy filling. And if you don't soften your cream cheese enough, they will have this little lumps, and you don't want that. This should do. So nice and creamy. Scrape from the wall so that everything mixes together well. Now into the mixture we're going to add sugar, dulce de leche. I'm using 1 can of dulce de leche, and reserve about 1/4 of the dulce de leche for decoration. I have a quick shorts video how to make dulce de leche, and I'll link it up here. It's really easy. On my website, I have a comprehensive guide to make dulce de leche 3 different ways, and discussing each method individually. So now we're going to add sour cream, salt, and a little bit vanilla extract. I'm also using my homemade vanilla extract. It smells amazing. And I also have a shorts video on how to make homemade vanilla extract, and I will link it up here. And go ahead and mix it on medium-high for about a minute or so until it's really nicely combined. Halfway, make sure to scrape the sides and paddle attachment. We want the mixture to be really well combined and no lumps. Looking great. So now I'm going to scrape the sides again. I know it's a lot of scraping going on. And now we're going to add eggs one at a time. If you add the eggs all at once, it will be harder to mix in. So just add it one at a time so that you don't have to beat the mixture too much. Scrape the sides one more time. We're almost done now. Just another half a minute or so mixing, and then we'll bake the cheesecake. Now we'll pour our filling into the prepared crust. Look how smooth it is, no lumps, exactly how you want it. And now we're going to gently tap on the counter so that the bubbles can come to the surface and pop, so that the cheesecake is nice and smooth. Now we're going to bake the cheesecake in a water bath, and I'm going to use this roasting pan. If you don't have a roasting pan, use a big baking pan that you can fit 9-inch springform pan, and put it in the middle. And then pour about 2 cups of hot water. Carefully. And then we're going to bake it for about 55-60 minutes at 350 degrees, slowly and gently. And once it's baked, we'll turn off the oven and then let the cheesecake cool in the oven slowly for about an hour. And then you can take it out of the oven, let it cool at room temperature completely, and then put it in the fridge to chill completely. It takes a while. You want to gently cool the cheesecake to prevent cracking. When you bake the cheesecake and take it out and then cool it at room temperature right away, the sudden temperature difference may cause the cracking. And if you want to avoid the cracks, which I find that it's no big deal, especially with dulce de leche cheesecake, when you can spread dulce de leche on top, no big deal. But again, if you want to have really nice, perfect cheesecake, this is way to go. Takes a little bit patience. So I'm gonna bake it, and I will come back once my cheesecake is baked and chilled completely. So I actually made another cheesecake yesterday, and it's completely cooled and chilled overnight, and I'm going to show you how it looks. So it does separate from the sides a little bit, which is great, and I'm going to run an offset spatula just in case if there's anything stuck on the bottom, it will release easily. You can do this step with a knife as well. Place a damp paper towel on the bottom so the cheesecake doesn't slide everywhere. And now we're going to spread dulce de leche on top. Decadent it is. So good. It literally gets so much amazing reviews on my website. Go check it out if you don't believe me. And on Pinterest, people comment and include the pictures. That's so awesome. This is optional, but I love sweet and salty combination. So I'm going to sprinkle some flaky sea salt. I like Maldon salt here. So good. If you prefer, you can always use homemade caramel instead of dulce de leche. I know they're not the same things. However, in this recipe, you can use it interchangeably. Let's give it a taste test. Clean the knife between each slice. Look at that. Super tall and delicious and decadent. Looks so good. But looks deceiving. Let's give it a try. Simply perfect. So creamy. The sea salt, dulce de leche, outstanding. Outstanding. I really, really hope you will give this recipe a try. If you do, please share your comment. If you want to share your picture on Instagram, tag me at Shineshka. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.